Okay. Hey, everybody, I'm back. I'm back from seminar, I'm back from vacation, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys about something that I am learning firsthand, and it's about productivity and living a productive life and getting productive with the time that you have. So I want to talk to you about that today as you're a part of our weekly Google Hangout. Thank you so much for being a part of it. So have you guys ever wondered why a national sales director like Kathy Halou or Gloria Mayfield Banks, how they're so powerful in the time that they have compared to you when we all have 24 hours in a day? Here's something I know about those two individuals and the successful women in Mary Kay. You guys, productive people get more done, they achieve more results, and they make a lot more money in the same time as the rest of the population. And they do so because they devote, hear me, maximum energy, maximum time to being productive on top priority activities. Top priority activities. They find the few or one thing that is most influential to their business, and they block the time to do it, and they do a lot of it. And then after they've blocked that time to do that activity, they protect it with vengeance. Now, most people look at their life and they go, Kelly, I just don't know that I can fit that in, or it's going to be really busy, or they just think they never have enough energy or time in a day to get things done. But there is a way if you're willing to block and protect your time. And there's a quote I wanted to read from you from Alexander Graham Bell. And he said, if you concentrate all your thoughts upon the work at hand, upon the work at hand, the sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus. I'm going to say that again. The sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus. So I want you to think about that. The sunshine rays are all around us every single day, and we feel them and we know that they're there and they exist. But when they're brought to a focus, they can literally start a fire because of the sun's rays, because of their power. That's what happens when you focus your time. And blocking your time really helps you harness your energy and centers it around the most important tasks and works at hand. So when I'm talking about this, the first thing you have to know is what your top priorities are. And after you've figured out your top priorities for your business, then you have to go to your calendar and you have to block off that time, and you need to make it so that you can accomplish that one thing. And you guys, with our business, our Mary Kay business, we're in this for the long haul, right? You don't want to say, gosh, Kelly, I know my top priority is booking, and do it for 2 hours or for 4 hours on a Saturday and then never do it again for the rest of the month, right? It's got to be a consistent habit. So if it's a regular habit that you have to create, you have to regularly block off that time every single day so it becomes that habit. And everything else that's calling for your attention has to wait. I know you don't want me to say that, but it has to wait. And when you do this, you're going to create a system that's just going to make this very repeatable for you. One of the things that I feel like has helped me be very successful in Mary Kay is not that I am extremely charming or so dynamic or, just like more influential than the next person next to me. But one thing I am is disciplined. I do things and I do them consistently. And that has served me in my Mary Kay business because I'm just consistently doing the same little bit of activity every single day. And all of a sudden the results are just continuously coming in. So that's something you want to do for yourself. And if you know that there are certain activities, hear me when I say this, if you know that there are certain activities that if you invest your time in these activities, that they give you higher results than if you invested time in another Mary Kay activity, you have to invest more time in those higher producing exponential growth activities so that you can get your greatest results. Let me give you an example. So let's just say you had 2 hours to spend, and I could give my time to, I could spend my 2 hours saying, you know what, I really need to make some sales. I need some income really quickly. So with that 2 hours, I could get on my phone and make a really cute flyer about the new facial peel and post it on social media, and then post it on my fan page and make sure people are liking it and get Facebook to promote it. And I could do all of these things and spend my 2 hours trying to make a sale. Right? But if I know I need to make money, I could go, what's the best way for me to make money? Well, the best way for me to make money is by getting in front of faces. Well, I don't have any faces right now. I don't have anybody on my leads. Well, If I only have 2 hours to spend, where could I go? What could I do to go get some leads? Because I know with that 2 hours, I need to find leads so that they lead me to appointments. So maybe I'm, with that 2 hours, I'm just calling places and or going up to the local restaurants and trying to book a table event, or I'm going out and meeting new people and warm chattering, things like that. So, or maybe I've got a list of leads and I'm generating new leads or booking those appointments. That would be exponentially more successful for me than if I had spent time trying to promote a product on Facebook. Another example that I found for myself was I know that the party setting is the most influential place for me. So when I go to a party, I know that I'm going to be selling. I'm going to be gaining lifelong customers. I know that am going to be layering people for the opportunity and recruiting them. And then I'm going to be helping those people gain a vision for what their future business can be. So that party, that 2-hour window is so important to me. So let's just say I had 1 hour to spend today. I could either, sit at my computer and say, you know what, I really don't know a ton about, some of these new products that I saw, and there's the new matte lipsticks and I want to know all about them. So I'm just going to sit here at the computer for an hour and educate myself and learn about all the new products and, on the Mary Kay in Touch video lounge. Or I could take that exact same hour and I could say, you know what, I'm going to text my hostess and I'm going to touch base with her and I'm going to get her excited about her party for next Monday. And I'm going to confirm my guests that are coming in and I'm going to pre-profile them and I'm going to text them and tell them I'm making their custom swag bag. And I could do all that in 1 hour. And that is getting me even more productivity that's going to happen from that party because I layered my most influential time of investment, which is the party setting. Do you see where I'm going with this? I know that me having a successful party is way more important than me knowing about the matte lipsticks today or, selling a product on Facebook. So you got to use your time wisely. And you guys, when I first started, I've shared this story before, I saw like 120 faces in my first 2 months with Mary Kay, and I was really discouraged because I had one team member. And I remember thinking, all I want to do is, earn my first free car and become a sales director. And a part of that was I had to learn how to team build. And so I had to realize instead of, doing some of the other things like organizing my customer profile cards or even sending thank you cards, it was more important for me to learn to team build, to start holding 3-way conversations with my sales director or treating someone to coffee and asking Jordan if she would come with me to help mentor me so that I could become a sponge for the marketing opportunity because I couldn't waste one more face in front of me without knowing how to present that opportunity with polish and with professionalism. And so I did that. I spent my time doing that because that was an activity that I knew that was going to be seriously reap me so many benefits. And of course, I grew my business from there. So I hope that that's helpful for you. So you might be asking yourself, or actually I want you to ask yourself this question: what's the one thing I can do for my business such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? What's the one thing I can do for my business that's by doing so, everything else would become easier or unnecessary? And so for me, I knew that if I had more bookings, everything else would become easier because guess who is a frustrated consultant? One who's not making money, one who's not team building, one who has not an appointment in a long time. And where did the money and the team building come from? They come from the booking. And so when I felt myself very frustrated, I knew I had to become a lead generating fool. I had to become excessive. I had to have leads coming from 5 little pots. So anyway, all that to say, figure out what your one thing is that could make everything else easier necessary. Now, when you have that figured out, you're going to schedule time every single day to devote to that one task. Every single day, there's got to be some investment. And once you have your one thing done, what's so great is you can devote the rest of your day to everything else on your list. And my OCD friends are going to go, but Kelly, my list is like this long and I feel really good when I've checked off a lot of things. Well, I don't care if you checked off nothing else on your list. If you got that one thing done, you moved your business forward that day. So it may not help you sleep at night because you have a list of unchecked things in front of you, but I don't care. It's not going to help you earn that promotion that you're looking for. So a couple of time blocking tips that I wanted to give you. The number one thing that I do is I print off, you can see this right here. It's on Mary Kay in Touch. It's a weekly accomplishment plan sheet. Okay, so it's going to allow you to put in, first of all, tip number one, you're going to put in all your non-negotiables. When do you have your full-time job? When, do your kids have baseball? When do you have church? When do you have all these things? When is date night? When are your vacations? What day are you taking off and doing no Mary Kay? I schedule that, you guys. I have date night with my husband and we spend time together. When's your downtime? You guys have to plan your time around the non-negotiables. Don't be surprised when, every Wednesday all of a sudden you have church again, or, every Monday you've got that Bible study or whatever it is. So you want to work with the sheet first. You put the non-negotiables. Then you're going to time block your one thing. You're going to design your entire day or your schedule around getting that one thing done. Okay? And you honestly want to do it as early as possible, because it's a true fact that you wake up with restored, willpower. You've got willpower every single day and it's restored every morning. And then by the end of the day, you've used it up on all these other things. So you want to work on your one task as fast as possible and as early as possible so that you've gotten it accomplished. And honestly, you guys, you have to make it a physical appointment on your calendar. And then the next tip is you've got to block your time. Sometimes I see consultants who made this epiphany decision to move up in their business or move into the red jacket or become a sales director or earn their first free car. And they think just because they made a decision that things are going to change, and they won't. The world doesn't know your purpose or your priorities, and they're honestly not responsible for them. Guess what? You are. So you've got to know that your decision to move up didn't change your life. It didn't change your husband's schedule. It didn't change your kids' schedule. So again, whatever you do, you have to block that time and let your family and friends know what you're doing with your time. And at first, it's going to feel hard. You're going to have some opposition. You're going to have people who are used to you responding and being there at their beck and call, because that's who you were, but not who you're going to be. And so you just have to keep that door closed and just let them know that this is how it's going to be and it's the new change. And if mommy's door is shut, you guys can see them probably right now. I have glass doors, and Everly comes up to my glass window and cries for me sometimes. And I'm like, Josh, get her out of here, because I'm working. And he just happened to let her walk past me and she wants me. But just because I want my baby doesn't mean that I don't want my goals or to work towards the things that are important for my family. So you've got to let them know, but you have to block it first. Now, if for any reason you have something that comes up in your schedule and you had to miss your block of time for booking, and you said, you know what, every day on my lunch break, I told my staff, they can't bother me. I'm eating my salad alone in my office. The door is locked and they finally know that this is my time and I'm not going to respond to their emails, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden your mother calls you and tells you that your baby is sick and you have to go pick her up from daycare, like what happened to me the other day. And, time has to change. If it moves, because sometimes there are those few things, I want you to have a motto. It's called, if I erase, I must replace. If I erase, I must replace. You have to put that investment back on your calendar and make sure it gets done. And I want you to even make it your mantra that until my one thing is done, everything else can wait. Until my one thing is done, everything else can wait. Because it's not important to me. It's not as important to me to answer the people who are calling for my attention if they're expecting me to be a leader. If I need to have bookings, to have money to spend, to do the things that I need to do for my family, that is first priority. And so you need to make that one thing, those top priorities, non-negotiables on your calendar. And sometimes when I'm doing my even bookings, literally right now, as I'm talking to you guys, you probably heard text messages going off. Well, people don't know that I'm doing this right now and it's a priority. Well, when things like that come up, and something comes up, I make what I call a dump list, because honestly, your greatest distraction is your own personal need and want to get other things done instead of your one thing. Because you go, this is important, I'm gonna forget it. And so you need to make a dump list so that if things pop in your head, you can write it down, make a task list, and get back to it when you're supposed to be doing it, and put it out of sight until the time comes that it's time to address it. And there's a quote that says, perseverance is not a long race. It's many short races, one after another. I'm gonna say that again. Perseverance is not a long race. It's many short races, one after another. And like I said, you guys, we're in this for the long haul. And so you've got to learn to make your Mary Kay business a priority in your schedule, a priority that your family knows about it, a priority that your schedule is understanding of it, and you've got to block that time. So I hope this was an encouragement to you today. And if for any reason you're feeling confused about where you might be able to fit in, I remember when I was working my full-time job and I was going, literally, I have like maybe a lunch here and like I could hold an appointment here and I've got one thing here and that's it. Like that's all I've got on my schedule. Ask your sales director. She can help you think of very creative ways to fit in some of the tasks. You would be surprised. I'm going to tell you one last story before I close out. You would be surprised how much you can get done with limited amount of time as long as it's focused. We have a sales director friend. Her name is Candy Jones, and she is a dentist. She owns a very big practice and she pays a sitter, but she's a sales director with Mary Kay as well. And she told me she will get home at 5 o'clock every single day and her sitter is there until 5:30. And she said, I sit in my car in my air conditioning and I book for 30 minutes before I go into my house because I've already paid her to be there till 5:30 and my daughter doesn't even know that I'm in the driveway, but as soon as I walk in, I'm mom and I can't be distracted. So I sit and pay her for 30 more minutes just to watch my daughter so that she can have that block of time. She does it every single day. And I thought that was such a testament to how committed she is to moving her business forward. So I hope that you guys will be responsible for your own success, because success, you know what? Here's what's going to happen. You're going to go, you know what? I heard that leadership in January. I heard DIQs can come and I'd love to go as a DIQ or I'd love to come as a new sales director. And you think that's so far away. You go, that's 5 months away. I've got so much time to get it together. Well, guess what? Let's say you want to be a sales director and it takes you anywhere between 1 and 4 months to become a sales director. Well, let's just backstep a little bit. Let's say you debuted January 1st. You've got December, November, October, September. If you took all 4 months to go through directorship and debut, by the time you went to leadership, you would have to be going in the next 13 days into DIQ. Now, let's just say you took 3 months. Well, great. You have 1 month to get yourself together to be an October 1st DIQ. Time flies. Time flies. So be prepared, get consistent, and block your time. I look forward to hearing all of the success you have from blocking your time from now on out. Bye-bye.